Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the 42-year-old, six-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady and the New England Patriots as they match up with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the New England Patriots. From up top, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, I hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Patriots come out led by the four-time Super Bowl MVP and owner of a record 6 Super Bowl rings. Arguably the greatest to ever play the game, Tom Brady. And we keep asking the same questions every year. How much longer can he keep doing this? Is this the year the dynasty crumbles? And every year Brady comes out and leads his team to the Super Bowl. They've been there now 3 years in a row, and only one team has made it 4. That's the Buffalo Bills. But remember, they lost all 4 in the early 90s.
50. 29. Alpha. Watch the run. Watch the run. 3D.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. Thomas, the 9-year vet. Of course, all those great seasons with Denver. 5 straight 1,000-yard campaigns in Denver. Dealt to Houston at the trade deadline last year, and now trying to work his way back off an Achilles tear. And if healthy, he can certainly be a big asset for Tom Brady. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
Sony Michel was taken near the end of the first round in the 2018 draft, but boy, did he earn his keep in that season with New England. Really came on in the playoffs, scored the only touchdown in the Super Bowl win over the Rams. Expect bigger and better from Sony Michel moving forward.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Check 55, Mike. I don't think you got it, son.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. This is one thing you can't do with Tom Brady. Let him get in a rhythm. Let him get rolling early.
Every time you talk about Tom Brady or any other great quarterback, you always talk to the defensive guys and they say, you got to get him off his spot. What they mean by that is when you go back 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop, and they just hit the same spot and then they're set up to throw the ball, get them to move a little bit, get them to hold the ball. And the pressure that affects just about any quarterback, right up the middle. Remember the Super Bowl? Atlanta's best success came up the middle pressure, what we call gut pressure.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Many times as we open a game, we talk about guys who are drafted in the first round, but how about the undrafted players? In this case, Safety Tashawn Gibson was made the most of his time in the NFL, becoming a starter in the league, and since 2012 has 20 interceptions, the most for undrafted players in that time frame.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. Caught by the tight end, Watson. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
So here are the Texans under their 6-year head coach, Bill O'Brien. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field. And that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. Powering his way forward. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go!
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Watson with a give to Miller, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson steps away. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 45-yard line.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Good job, good job.
A quick look here at the Patriot defense.
Dante Hightower is a prototypical run-stuffing inside linebacker who has the ability to go to the edge and rush the passer. And there's no better example than when he had the strip sack against Matt Ryan in Super Bowl 51.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Just like that. Mike 51. Oh, yeah,
and nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Reset, 20, 52. Get your swarm on. Slam.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Will Fuller was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Patriots offense filing onto the field again, and they've had a couple of impressive wins the last 2 weeks. You remember 3 weeks ago, the loss to Baltimore, first loss of the season, but then they bounced back, a win against Philadelphia, and then week 12, the win against Dallas. So a couple of good victories over the NFC East, and the Patriots holding on right now to the #1 seed in the AFC. So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 21. Shotgun now for Brady. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Of course, this building played host to Super Bowl 51, the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. Tom Brady and these Patriots came storming back from that 28-6 deficit to shock Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons for yet another Super Bowl title. And now they're back here for this bout. The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down, on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. DeAndre Carter is deep for the Texans. This is taken at about the 14. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Another possession coming up here for the Houston Texans on offense. It's a Houston Texans team that is on top of the AFC South, courtesy of their victory on Thursday night against the Indianapolis Colts. Colts had the same record going into that game at 6-4. Now they're at 6-5. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Houston. You beat Indianapolis. Next up doesn't get any easier as they host the New England Patriots in Week 13. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll toss it to Miller. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
Sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their 2nd-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Back deep for New England, Julian Edelman. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champs ready for their next possession. Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Brady now to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Matt Lacoste. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Not today, you are. Not today.
Play action. Now it's Brady. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Out of the gun, Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 18. Now a pass dropped off here for James White. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. With James White, you know that he can catch the football. He was third in the NFL amongst running backs last year with 87 catches. And as we've seen, sometimes they come in bunches. Super Bowl 51, he had 14 grabs, including the winning score. Last year in the divisional round versus the Chargers, 15 receptions for White. Now a pass here caught by Edelman. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, how many times have we seen that? Third down, and Tom Brady turning to old reliable Julian Edelman. Of course, no Rob Gronkowski now. Edelman, the main holdover, the 33-year-old who was a Super Bowl MVP last season. They go play action here on first down. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's left.
From midfield, here's Brady. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 37.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Brady already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Brady now going to leave it with Michel on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
3-3, a tight one after one on EA Sports.
Wait, set. Alabama, 380. Watching you drive. Here we go. 72.
Now on 2nd and 13. Brady, and his throw is incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. New England on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing now is Brady. It's caught. This is White. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4.
Right there. All day, baby.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good.
Here we go.
A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
And now out comes Houston. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They begin with a run by Miller. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Switch. Time to go.
A throw out wide to QT, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Watson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The sack by Michael Bennett, the native of tiny Independence, Louisiana. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Brady now on 1st down. And he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I'm going to run you over.
From the gun, it's Brady. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. And he's got this down to the 35. That one good for 13 at a New England 1st down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Brady. Thomas has got it. Complete. That one good for 13 at a New England 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Brady. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
Well, that's the 2nd time they've gotten to Brady, and you've got to do it a variety of ways. You want your regular pressure. Sometimes you have to bring extra. But in this case, they got to him, and that just doesn't happen very often.
It's a rarity. He's just such a veteran. His pocket presence so good. But, hey, tip of the cap to the D. Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. This one from 48 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading 1st half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat. Watch his flat.
On 1st down, Brady. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Brady. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback. But as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Watson. They'll roll him out right. He'll run it. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And I don't think Edelman will be able to get to this one. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now?
Let's go. Let's do
At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's complete. James White. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
New England on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Brady. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England. On the return, Carter. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Completes it to Miller. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
Watson now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to flare up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
Come on, fellas.
Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. Well, there's no shortage of great young runners in the NFL, but don't forget about that guy, Sony Michel. First-round pick in 2018. Almost hit 1,000 yards as a rookie, 931 to be exact, to go along with 6 scores for the former Georgia Bulldog. 2nd and 5 now. Brady, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
New England on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw is Brady. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Texans scoop it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38.
Man, I got you.
Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Hey, ball 66.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Brady. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time. And it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
New England on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Brady now to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Devin McCourty brings him down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. One hallmark of good defenses, understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback, and that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the 2nd interception in the first half.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady, and this is incomplete. Coverage that time by Aaron Colvin.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Brady gives to Michelle, and he's stopped up short of the 1st as they tackle him down at about the 36. Now the Texans will burn the 1st of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And now out comes Houston. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
51, Mike, 51. Coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
Watson on first down. It's complete to Hopkins. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Lawrence Guy able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now it's Watson. And he's going to go down again. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
You can't block me.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Texans send the punter out, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. The shifty Edelman with a good move. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final shot before half for Brady. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Second half begins with a run from Miller. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Miller. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Oh, yeah.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll find Miller. That's complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Watson now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the pass.
Watson now to throw. Open man, the tight end falls. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Watson. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 16. From the gun, it's Brady. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. That one good for 13 at a New England first down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Wait, that. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the edge.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Here we go.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Brady deferring to White on the draw. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down, they hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field, and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, Michel. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 7, Brady caught by the tight end Watson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On play action, it's Brady. And this is going to be incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And the 13-year man puts it through, and they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. This is Miller, complete. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Miller.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson, rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
So Brady and the Pats take over 1st and 10 at their own 13. They begin with Michel on the ground. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd down now. It's White, and not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a Patriot 1st down on a pickup of 16.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Brady now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Brady's throw there complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Brady to throw again, and his throw here's incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, down at the 33.
Check 50, check 50.
1st down, here's White. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Brady. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. And Michel will find his way in for a Patriots touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion, because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And a look now at Lamar Miller. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's going to be a long day.
Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And this will be incomplete. Oh, Thomas unable to reel that one in. And it's 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Check 41.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. It got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Brady gives this to White. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Wait, set. Wide, 20. I got one.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. He's got White here. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. Now Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT.
He don't want it.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, he'll buy some time right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go. Time to go.
Now it's Watson. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Get him. Hey, Mike 51. Line him up.
Throwing again on second down. Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 44-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now a first down throw. Watson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. On the ground, Michel. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Play action. Now it's Brady. Looking for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances, putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brady complete to Watson, the tight end. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 22 yards there, a first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Brady. Has a man, and it's Edelman for the Patriot touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Gostkowski the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Sliding out of the pocket. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
51. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson, his throw incomplete. Jordan Thomas, the one he was looking for. 3rd down here. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Watson now to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Mike Bennett bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Patriots take over. They're going to have terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They'll run on first down. Michelle. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Again, it's Michelle. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Brady going to throw. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to float this one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 75 yards. And the Texans get a bit closer.
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 19-point game. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. Now, I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this. And all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Well, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side. On first down, Michel. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's Brady to throw. And Anderson's got it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Let's go.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
So a first and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. On the ground, this is Michel. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got 6, now second and 4. And it's Michel once again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
55. You must be dreaming. Check 99.
From the gun on 3rd down. Brady, and he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Wait, set. 29. Alpha. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll run on first down. It's White. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On second down, Michelle. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, a run from White. Now White lost the football.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Wait, set. Ready? 55. I'm coming after you.
Brady going to look to throw. And it's caught. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.